What's up? What's happening? Joby the One here on this great rainy Monday. I'm excited to get the adventure in the book. This will be my 15th loose change episode that I'm going to go record. Pardon me on the breathing weird and maybe the coughing and maybe I sound a little weird. Allergies are in full freaking effect here in April and they are doing some damage. Renee Stevens right now is currently under the weather because these allergies are kicking some butt. But anyways, I popped some allergy pills. I'm still going to go do some loose change because if I don't, I feel like I'm letting myself down. And I'm not going to do that. My plan currently right now is to go to Fort Reno in El Reno. I'm going to film the structures there. I'm going to film the cemetery there. That'll probably be 2 episodes just so I can have up to loose change 6. And then I'm also going to film probably guilty promo there just so I can keep adding on to that because I've done some character work. I just need to throw on that face paint this time and I'll do it at Fort Reno. Anyways, that's a little behind the scenes. I thought I would just share with you. Anyways, I'm going to go start on this journey. You stay being cool doing what you're doing and I hope you enjoy. Peace. Oh, you ready? Here we are at the historic Fort Reno. Cue the voiceover as I drive in with the information. Fort Reno, it's a former United States Army cavalry post west of El Reno, Oklahoma, named after the General Jesse L. Reno, who died at the Battle of South Mountain in the American Civil War. It was built in 1874. It was in use in 1874 to 1949. It was built out of wood, stone, and brick, as you will see as we go through here, and all the different timelines too. Some were built this timeline, some were built this timeline, some were built this. Anyways, the battles or wars that it was involved in, maybe not directly, but sometimes indirectly, were World War I, World War II. It was also a German prisoner of war camp, and it was also involved in the Indian Wars of the Southern Plains down here. It looks like another interesting fact is that there was a famed 9th Cavalry Buffalo soldiers that were stationed here, which is kind of cool. Hopefully we can find a monument to that. And it looks like after Oklahoma became a statehood in 1907, this post was abandoned for a whole entire year. A whole entire year. It remained as a quartermaster remount depot during World War II. German and Italy prisoner of wars were housed on the grounds. The fort's chapel was built by members of the Africa Corps in 1949. The fort was abandoned by the Army and transferred to the Department of Agriculture then, and it used it as grazing lands and a research laboratory, which is very cool, very cool. That sounds like a better use of this place anyways. There's so much land out here. Anyways, let's get back to it. If I can think of any more history, I'll drop it on you as we go. Let's do it. Got me walking around with this crazy. I probably look cool, but I also look like, dude, what are you doing? I look like the Undertaker walking through here. Just before I get here, look at all this stuff I gotta walk. It's pretty much like they got this road and I'm just gonna walk all the way to see all this stuff. Like you can't even probably see it on the camera. Some of it's way far back there. But I'm excited to do it. And then I got a cemetery after this to catch, which is down the road. So make sure to watch episode 16 as well. Okay, this is interesting. This home right here was once a school and a chapel in 1885. And it was once the home of Ben and Mocha Clark in 1908 to 1914. It says, Ben Clark, more than any other man in history of Western Oklahoma, cannot be identified with the history of Fort Reno. He was one of the interpreters at the signing of the treaty at Medicine Lodge in Kansas in 1867. He was with the cavalry commander George Armstrong Custer on the morning of November 27th, 1868, during the ill-conceived attack on Black Kettle Village. As a post interpreter, he served longer than anyone else in the history of Fort Reno. He married into a Cheyenne tribe 3 times. All of his wives passed before him. His last wife, Moke, was 20 years younger than him. They married in 1880 and had 12 children. Oh my goodness, you're crazy. She probably took care of all of them. And moved into this building. Oh my gosh, 12 kids plus them 2 in this building. Crazy. They rest at Fort Reno Post Cemetery with 5 children. So we have got to make sure to find all them and their 5 children at that cemetery. As we walk closer. It's so crazy now that we know the story. And I've seen the pictures. You just wonder if them and any 5 of their children are looking through this door right now at me thinking, "Sir, please stay off my grass." That's cool. As we go to the side of their building, you can see probably in through their house a little bit through that. I don't want to get too close because it does say stay off or stay on the sidewalk. This is obviously not on the sidewalk, but I'm going to explore. I have to check this out. I can't just stay on the sidewalk. That's for basic people. Oh, almost fell over. Talking crap. See, I just want to know what all this was. Was there another building right here? There had to have been some. Ah, they got all the windows covered up. That sucks. Ooh, there's a storm cellar. It's probably where they kept 4 of their 12 kids. And this sign says this was also the officers' quarter in 1878. That's cool. Multiple uses for this one building. Just stopped to film a little guilty scene. And now I want to show you this little RV right here. Came to check it out as well, so word, like-minded people, I love it. Okay, so on this field right here, this is where soldiers would be doing drills, you know, early morning marches, all sorts of stuff like that. Right here where we're walking. I still think they may have like some sort of reenactment here. That's what these bleachers and stuff are for. I still think they might have something like that. I know they have haunted tours that you can go on in October for sure. I do know that. I do think they're year-round though, possibly as well. So if that interests you, check it out. Let's go check out this building. This building right here was originally built in 1930, was intended to be an officer's quarters, which it was, and then in 1940s it was turned into a hospital for the soldiers and the probably prisoners of war, you know, all of the above. And now this is the building that a research facility of the grassland research lands based off the USDA works out of. Kind of cool. All these buildings being turned into something useful still is amazing. Just a reason to take care of it. Now let's go to what I was going to see. It says these hay barns right directly in front of us were built after World War II by the prisoners of war as a hay barn for, you know, mules, horses, etc. And it's still used for that exact same reason today. Right here, a commissary from 1885 to 1886. I wonder what else it was used as, because I cannot just see them building this humongous commissary and there not be no reason to keep using it. Let's go see if we can get a look inside. Looks like they're using it to store some stuff. It's relatively empty other than that. There's an old boot scraper they still got there. It's cool. Alright, so this was built in 1885. The north and south, or vice versa, was built in 1886. says this was also, or this commissary used as the fort's grocery store also had the Chisholm Trail, that famous trail that ran from Texas to Kansas, right behind it, a little spur of it. So I guess they would stop by, get their grub, get their food, get their utilities they were going to need, and then they would hit the trail. And what's crazy about that is I'm guessing that way, some way, was that Silver City. So they maybe, just in my crazy imagination, maybe they stayed the night at that hotel in Silver City that that guy told us about, O'Hara. And maybe they came by here the day after, who knows, and got some food. This is all cool stuff. History rocks. So is imaginating. Sounds like I'm hearing gunshots. Now I'm thinking, what if I'm hearing ghost gunshots? Disembodied war going on around me. Alright, time to go check out some more stuff. Okay, it says right here we have a Ordnance Magazine, 1885. I wonder if that means this was where they stored the ammo. Because I'm pretty sure they didn't just have a magazine about Fort Reno. So I'm wondering if this was also the armory. I just said that really weird. But it probably won't be the first time or the last. Pretty sure that is the armory. Still see a sign. It does got these cool little bars on it though. Oh, you can kinda... Oh, that's the window behind me. I was gonna say, you can kinda see it. That's creepy. It's kinda cool. They got this lost little trail that went, I guess, alongside commissary and alongside the magazine mystery armory. Got a piece of glass that fell out the window. This is the back side of what we're seeing. Ooh, it's warm in there. Oh, it's warm. I remember the last time I came here with my stepmom, it was cold coming out of these buildings. I thought it was kind of spooky. May not be an 1885 throwback, but look at that AC unit. Man. This was built in 1921 as a machine shop, and it was used for many projects throughout the years. Blacksmiths, precision machinists created supplies for horses, mules, and wagons. The local railroad and military armaments for soldiers, training, and fort security. It says these 5 buildings back here were used as coal houses, and they were built in 1890. And they were used until the mid-1920s. Well, this is cool. This guardhouse, also known as a jail, was constructed in 1888 of native stone from a quarry located about 6 miles west of here. Many windows still have bolts embedded where iron bars were held in place. An annex was built to the west side of the structure, which would be that, and that was later turned into a 20th century post office. This facility also housed David Payne and his boomers, who were often arrested by Fort Reno soldiers and Cheyenne and Arapaho Indian scouts for establishing settlements in unassigned land. Cool. That is so cool. Here we have a cavalry barrack that was built in 37 or 34? It's crazy cool. They used to chill. They could still be chilling, looking at me right now. Look, you can tell with that red rock. Oh, that's cool. Someone's tried to break a window open. How freaking ridiculous. Oh, I love that rock. That wind got strong. So, let me tell you a little story about this little area right, let me see my finger, right there. So, one time when me and my stepmom came out here about March of last year maybe, or the year before, no, last year, it's for sure last year. We were out here all alone. See, I'm telling you, I'm hearing these crazy sounds. We're out here, you know, all alone, checking it out. Now I'm all paranoid because I just heard it again. Sound. But yeah, we went, because there's hinges on this. You know, I'll take a little close picture or a video so you can see it. There's hinges over here. And we went and checked it out, and they were so cold. Like, it was hot out here, but it was so cold right there in that little spot. God, I did it again. I keep hearing these sounds. Oh, it's this flapping right here. Jesus Christ, that scared me. I was such a wiener. But yeah, anyways, we felt very cold over here. I know this place is haunted. I don't know if there was anything exactly in here, or maybe it's this whole building in general. But yeah, I just wanted to share that little tidbit of my life, I guess, with you. God, that scared me. That's what I'm talking about, the little door with hinges. I don't know, it just kind of made us curious. I know it was probably something to do with to get under the house easy. But yeah, we just went and checked out, and it was so freaking cold, and like, I think it was a burst, because it shocked us both, where we both were like, nah, screw that, we'll just step back. And this was where I was just jumping. That little thing flaps up, and it hits. I keep thinking it's a gunshot over here, and I'm a little scaredy. I know it's windy, but I want to point out that this is the Cavalry barracks, built in 1934, and those were the officer barracks down there in 1934. Here we have that chapel, built in 1944. And I do know that this is still active. They use it for weddings, get-togethers, anything you could think of that would bring people together. They still use this. Let's see if we can get a look inside. Okay, so behind the church, we have a basement story. I wish I could go inside any of these buildings. I really do. Let's see if we can at least look down here. Oh, you ain't gonna see nothing. You see the insulation, but there's a basement to it. I don't want to know, since he's got hinges, do they ever open, or have they opened? You would think they've had to at least once. Look at the back of this building, just all that brick showing. I love it. Sorry for the wind. I cannot control that at the moment. Here is inside this. You can't tell anything. Somebody has tried to push it open, or the wind, but it is locked. I will not be that one, as much as I want to. I definitely ain't gonna do it by myself. You ain't gonna catch me in a scary movie. Here we have a busted window. Oh, and a piece of that wall. What the heck? All the way down the ground. What the heck? We got a piece of this. Oh! You see, I'm spooking myself. Alright, one more again. I'm not gonna put my phone or my camera too close. You can see the roof is falling down though. It's probably not a safe one to be. Got another piece of the wall that's fell out from up there. Oh shoot, that's like the exact little description of that. What is this building? Gotta make my way to the front because I went around the back of it first. Well, this officer's quarters right here was not the original one. This one was actually built in 1934. The original one was a wood one that was built in 1876 there. And after this was built, I think they said a couple years later they moved it. I don't know which one of these buildings. I think over there is where it is. They moved it to over there. But we are focused on this one. Let's check it out. This is one thing I love seeing. Nature overgrown. I don't know, it just looks cool. You just can't fight it. You just can't fight it. Unless this was meant to be a garden. If I step back, you can see the circular shape. Maybe it was meant to be something you could hang out, reflect, look on the people that were doing drills. See, we started over there. Now we're over here. So this is the Victorian. This is my favorite one out of all the buildings. Not because of just the way it looks. Like I said, I had come here about March of last year. And my stepmom and me stopped, actually, at that house right over there. We stopped at that house. And that lady had showed us a picture that she took this way. She took it, like, actually there were some kids standing right there. She took it of them. But about right where we're standing, somewhere on this house, maybe even on this porch, this lady was looking at them. Like straight up looking at them. And like if I could see these people over here, I might see if we can get that picture, but you can literally tell, like, you can't even see me, I don't know what I'm thinking. But just like where I'm standing currently, there is a lady looking at them. Oh, that's a cool sidewalk. Yeah, and so that helped it become one of my favorite ones, because first off, the paranormal stuff like rocks my socks. Also, they had told me that this building, this lady, it could have been that same lady, she used to take care of the children here, and there was like an epidemic at the time, like Spanish flu, yellow fever, I can't honestly remember what she said, or polio, you know, just any of the epidemics that was going on here, and all these kids she was taking care of, they would pass away, and you'll see later in the cemetery that we're going to go visit, Fort Reno Cemetery, some of these kids are there, but she would take care of them in this house. And like they'd pass away, and that was her. She never had no kids of her own. I think they also have a, I have to go to the front here, I think they got a toy up there, and it's kind of like for the kids that could still be there. Let's see, I don't know if you can tell in that window, I'll try to zoom in, but right there is a toy. Of course I can zoom in currently. Yeah, I can't remember in the photo if she was like standing right here or about right here. I know it was on this side though. She was just standing, staring back at them over there at that house taking a picture. It's crazy. And you know there's a lot of history in here, because like you just read on the sign, if you read it, there's officer quarters here as well. And I always think that's interesting, because you know that's got to be probably one of the stressful, more important jobs, but I would also think like you leave more of an indent in the timeline of life. Maybe that's why we see those kind of people, or even like maybe why we see the soldiers, because there's like something stressful or something imprinted that timestamp in life. I don't know, that's my own theory on that. I don't want to go too far into that. You can see there's a door up there open. Looks like one of the clearest windows I can find. That was dark. Maybe I'll find a side window for y'all. Well, and greedily for myself. It's a cool looking window. Here we have a window inside of it, a little bit at least. You can see, let me go on this side of it. You see a fireplace. There's a bookshelf. I know on the other side of that fireplace looked like a staircase. Just got busted by the Fort Reno security, LOL. It's telling me to stay further away from the buildings. But you know me, I gotta do what I gotta do. Anyways, this house right here is where, well, we'll get to the history of it. This is where they're taking the pictures. And like the people are standing about like right here, facing that way. Oh, sorry about the wind. And like right over there you can see the Victorian lady. I'm just going to take that same kind of picture and see what we pop up with. Yes, it says this was the commanding officer's quarters in 1876. It had a facelift in 1930, which would probably make it look more like this. But then in 2014 is why it looks like this. They had that grant money to fix it up and turn it into a STEM program. What does this say? Blue STEM Agriculture Learning Center. So that's pretty cool. That's very cool. I just not noticed. I'm walking around with all this blood looking stuff on me. So he probably did think I look like a crazy. Oh Jesus. Whatever. You know, what can you do? Now that's embarrassing. He said, no wonder he sounded all sketched out. Let's see what we can just look inside here. He said these could be open like within the month, so that's kind of cool, but he also doesn't know. It says officers quarters 1876, and this is the location of the Cavalry Museum. Got a cannon right there. Looks like we got some military flags. Got a flag right there. I wonder if any of those are Fort Reno flags. I bet that's exactly what they are. I don't know who he is. Maybe that's the Reno guy. They are closed. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this Fort Reno adventure. I hope the wind didn't destroy it too much. If it did, I'll probably voice over. But, you know, I just enjoyed walking with y'all. I enjoyed getting to explore it, getting to document it. You never know how long this stuff's going to actually be here. Like the guy was telling me, they had enough money, and the whole time they've had this, just to restore 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings. They still got all these other structures, and probably some that have already fallen. He said all those are in pretty bad shape, so I think it's cool that we got to document it. I think it's very, very cool that we got to document it. Well, until next time, please give a like, please subscribe, you know, all the other mumbo jumbo, and I definitely appreciate you for watching. Thank you.